Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day today. Thank you for joining me. This is going to be something a little bit different than what we normally do. This isn't a let's play. I guess we could call this maybe like a let's plan. I don't know. So something that I do for my channel and my content, I like to stay fairly organized, and I like to know what I have to record every day, and I like to know what I've got in the pipe in the future, and I like to know where I've been. So I keep a spreadsheet in OpenOffice, not Excel, because I'm cheap. And generally, this is kind of how I lay it out. Now, I thought it would be very interesting and maybe helpful, informative, fun, some adjective, for us to plan this out together. Basically, so I can take you through my thought process, kind of when I'm selecting what games that I want to make content for, and also to invite you to give feedback on what you like about the schedule, what games you might like to see. So in this video we're going to be talking about, well, October, because it's October, but don't let that stop you from recommending games in the future too, or from recommending games that aren't necessarily on my notable game releases list up here. So as you can see right now, today is the 6th of October, and you can see that the schedule does reflect that I took some time off. So I took like a day off, even though it looks like I took 2 days off. The reason that I have some videos blacked out on for 2 days is because I didn't want to have to come back from a day off and record even more, because that kind of defeats the purpose of having a day off, doesn't it? Anyways, so we're here on the 6th, and as you can see, for tomorrow I have to record some Edge of Space, some Dwarf Fortress, and some 80 Days today. Now, the way that I record, guys, I've mentioned this before in some of my series, is that I don't like to get too far ahead. That way, any comments that you guys have on my videos will reflect on my gameplay better, and it really frustrates me when like you watch somebody play a Let's Play or something and you can't comment on things because it's not relevant anymore, because that person is probably like 10 or 20 videos ahead of where you're watching. So that kind of bums me out. Anyways, so I just try to keep it kind of together, which can be a bit of a burden sometimes, but generally it's not a really big deal. So right now we've got 5 different game, I guess you'd say, Let's Play series going. We have Edge of Space, Dwarf Fortress, Nobunaga's Ambition, Reverse Crawl, and 80 Days. Now, something that I had mentioned, I did one of these for last month as well. Something that I mentioned in that video is that I'm really loath to go above 4 series at a time. And the reason for that is, number one, I'm doing this not only to try to make a career out of it, but also because I want to have fun. And whenever I start to feel really, really super burdened to always be recording, it becomes a little bit less fun and more like a guillotine hanging over my head. So, and number 2, well, really number 1 kind of covered everything. Number 2 was basically just that it takes a lot of time. So, anyways, we are kind of above the cap right now with, we have 5 series going. We have some really good game releases coming up, so it may end up being that some of these games end up not making it to content in the near future. Now, that doesn't mean that like I'm going to drop them forever, but it does probably mean that when I pick them back up, it'll probably be a different series. Now, games that probably would get dropped would probably be 80 Days and Reverse Crawl. I think Dwarf Fortress is kind of a staple of my channel at this point, and a lot of you come to my channel, I think, to see Dwarf Fortress, so I feel like I should probably continue to make Dwarf Fortress content. Also, I just enjoy making Dwarf Fortress content, so I think that I will continue to make play Dwarf Fortress in the near future. Edge of Space is fun, but it could also be on the chopping block too. It's just because of the nature of Edge of Space, kind of how it is, it does have a lot of replayability to it, but it's not typically the type of game that I would put a lot of time into. So I'm enjoying my playthrough of it right now. However, you know, now that I'm kind of seeing everything, or not everything, but seeing a lot of things and doing a lot of things, I don't feel as compelled to do another Let's Play or even potentially continue the Let's Play. So let's look at the notable game releases, because that's going to factor into our decision. So Beyond Earth, which is the DLC for, Rising Tide, which is the DLC for Beyond Earth, is coming out in, like, I'm recording this on the 6th. It comes out in 3 days. So, you know, the thing is, I really would like to do content for that, but I'm just not very good at, really at Beyond Earth. I mean, I'm okay, but I'm very casual. So if I was to make content for Rising Tide, it would probably be only, you know, it wouldn't be something that you would learn a lot from. It would just be kind of like a hangout type thing where, you know, you could just, I guess, have me on as background noise or something. Oh, excuse me. I don't know. If you guys have an opinion on any of these, feel free to let me know. Witcher 3 Hearts of Stone does come out on the 12th. I don't think I'll be doing any content for that, but I did want to call it to your attention because I feel like Witcher 3 is probably one of the best games released this year, especially if you enjoy that kind of, you know, it's sort of an open overworld exploration heavy, you know, lots of goodies to find, really rewards you for going off the beaten path, and sometimes kicks your ass for going off the beaten path. But Witcher 3, top-notch story, so I will probably be picking up the DLC, but I don't know that I'll be making content for it. Minecraft Story Mode comes out on October 13th, and actually Minecraft I don't really enjoy just because I can't get past the graphics, and the first-person perspective makes me ill because I have motion sickness. But what intrigues me about Story Mode is the fact that it is a Telltale game, and I really have enjoyed pretty much everything that Telltale Games has put out. So that does kind of add a layer of intrigue to it. I will probably pick it up, but unless you guys say that you really just want to see it, I probably won't make content for it. So yeah. Worm Unlimited comes out on October 21st. This is the single-player port of the online MMO Worm, which is very, very deep and feature-laden, and by all accounts pretty damn amazing in terms of like what you can do in the game. I think I tried to play Worm one time and got overwhelmed and stopped. So yeah, just let me know what you think about that. That is potentially something that I could see myself putting some time into. I think it could make for a really interesting Let's Play series. You know, I'm not sure that it would be something that I would do a lot of series of, you know, like, you know, start one, end one, start one, end one, like Dwarf Fortress. But yeah, it's an option. And then the biggie for me, the big one, is Binding of Isaac Afterbirth comes out on October 30th, which I'm pretty hyped for. I do think I am going to make daily content for that, kind of to replace Rampage Nights. I really did like my time with Rampage Nights, but in the end, it just kind of wore me down. It ground me into the dirt because there just wasn't enough variety in terms of items and interplays with items. It was just really, it kind of got a little boring. And yeah, you know, I felt like it was definitely challenging. And I didn't necessarily not like that, but I felt very much, and I talked about this more in depth in some of the last Rampage Nights videos I did. I just felt like it was not, how do I say this? I think the way I compared it to Binding of Isaac was basically like, with Binding of Isaac, if you have a really broken build, a really good build, a really strong build, you might still run into a room that hurts, but it's not going to absolutely destroy you. However, with Rampage Nights, it's very, very possible that you can have a decent build, which did happen to me, and you can run into one room by itself, which will completely end your run. And I don't really like that. So let's take a look at what's on the docket. So you can see I kind of already projected up through the 15th, but this isn't set in stone. I think the Dwarf Fortress is set in stone. And I've been putting those out at noon. So why don't we go ahead and pencil in Dwarf Fortress for the foreseeable future. Now this is our, I guess you'd say, Ocean World Cobalt Empires playthrough. You see I'm adding asterisks to beside the number, and that means that those are not yet recorded. Anything that you see no asterisk by is already recorded and probably uploaded to YouTube. So let's just go ahead, and what I'll do is I'll just run this through the end of the month, even though there is the potential that we could end up wiping the fortress because of, you know, things that are outside of our control, and moving on. Oop, forgot to add in the game to that. And moving on to a completely different game. There is the possibility of that. Or not completely different game, but a completely different Let's Play Dwarf Fortress. You guys have been really awesome in your support of my Dwarf Fortress series. Thank you so much. And you guys have continually been giving me really good ideas about, you know, like, I think you should try this kind of playthrough next time, or this kind of playthrough next time, which is really, really cool. I like hearing all of your ideas, even if some of them are very, very challenging. So, all right. I've already said Edge of Space may be something that's on the chopping block, so I'm not going to extend that out just yet. I don't know. We might even retract this back a little bit. Nobunaga's Ambition, I've been having a lot of fun with, and it's kind of a game that's sort of in my wheelhouse in terms of strategy. I could see the thing about Nobunaga's Ambition that maybe people don't enjoy is that it's kind of just turn-based, and I could see it maybe being a little bit more boring for people. So I don't really know when my Oda Clan Let's Play is going to end. We're going pretty strong at this point, and I haven't really gotten bored with the game. So what I'm going to do with Nobunaga's Ambition is I'm going to go ahead and extend it out to the end of the month. We'll keep on with the Oda Clan. Now, I don't know if we will make some content for a different clan after Oda Clan playthrough is done. I'm tempted to say that we'll probably not, and it might be something that we come back to at a later date. We might try something a little bit more challenging. I don't really feel like the Oda Clan is a very challenging start. I actually did start up another game with another clan in the first scenario that was a little bit of a harder start, and even then it was not very bad. So I don't know. I'm tempted to kick up the difficulty on the next playthrough, but I also hate to lose, and I like to win. So there is that. But if I kicked up the difficulty, it might be a little bit more interesting to watch. So if we make it all the way up through the end of the month, that would be 59 episodes of Nobunaga's Ambition, which is pretty insane. Okay. And then that takes us to Reverse Crawl. Now, Reverse Crawl is, I'm thinking we're pretty close to wrapping up that game. So, I don't know that I'm going to put Reverse Crawl on the calendar just yet, because I think it's almost done. And once it's done, I don't think that I'll be picking that game back up. It's a fun game. Don't get me wrong. It is a fun game. And I think there is some replay value in the game itself, but I don't think it's something that I want to put out content for again on my channel. And then 80 Days. You know, I kind of talked about this in my video. I asked people if they would be interested in seeing another playthrough of 80 Days, and I've had some responses that have said yes, that they would be interested in seeing more 80 Days. And I like 80 Days. I think 80 Days is a lot of fun. So I'm thinking, I'm thinking that 80 Days is going to be in the rotation. That's what I'm thinking. Now so I'm going to hold on just one second. We know that Binding of Isaac comes out on the 30th, probably at like midnight. So we're going to go ahead and pencil in Afterbirth, because it's going to be going. It's on like Conky Dong with Afterbirth for sure. The real question here is, do I want to put some content out for my practice? Because I've been practicing with Rebirth, trying to get good, so that you guys don't just laugh me out of the ballpark whenever I actually start playing. But, you know, I'm going to be starting with Afterbirth, just like probably everybody else, with a fresh save. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there who aren't going to be very good, just like me. So maybe that's part of the charm, is you guys get to be a part of my voyage into trying to become better at the game. So I'm not really too sure. We know we're going to do this. We've already penciled it in, but that leaves Beyond Earth, and I'm thinking Worm Unlimited. Of course, I have a lot of other games too that would be interesting to make content for. I mean, I've been kind of itching to do Crusader Kings 2 because I've been on a real big kick on that lately, having a lot of fun with that. I could also do Europa Universalis 4, which is a lot of fun too. Pretty much any Paradox game I'm just absolutely in love with. And I'm super, super hyped for Stellaris when it comes out next year. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and say 80 days. So we'll just be like 80-11. 80-12. You notice I'm not as good with typing with the numbers. I actually have to look, which is hard when you have a microphone in front of your face. God, quit hitting tab early. Premature tabulation. Her. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pencil in 80 days for probably an extra. We'll go up to we'll just say we're gonna go up to like 20 episodes of it. I think that's a fairly conservative estimate, because I think what took a lot on the first playthrough here was just me kind of like getting used to the game, but also though, to kind of like be a counterpoint to that, because it is so dialogue heavy, that is, I think, what extends the game quite a bit. It's very dialogue heavy, and I've actually been reading out the dialogue, if you've been following. If you haven't been following. If you have been following, you already know that I've been reading out the dialogue. I really do like that game. If you have not checked it out, and you like good narratives that are quirky and fun, I think you would enjoy it. Alright, so that leaves... So what do we want to do here with Edge of Space? I think I'm going to... pull... Some of you are probably not going to be too happy with this, but I think I'm going to pull Edge of Space for Beyond Earth on the 9th. I think I'm going to do that. Unless there's like this massive uproar of don't do that, I think I'm going to pull Edge of Space. So, yeah. So if you don't like that decision, you better comment on this video and you better let me know, because otherwise it's going to stay that way. Because I'm wanting to play Rising Tide. So we'll go live with Beyond Earth on the 9th. Or actually, it might be the 10th. It just depends on what the release window is. And I'm not sure what time it actually releases. Because I record everything, you know, beforehand. Usually 2 days beforehand. Or a day and 2 days beforehand. So it may be a situation where Edge of Space does end up running 1 day longer than we had planned. But what that will do is that will keep me, because Reverse Crawl is going to be wrapping up before too long, and then when we roll into here, we'll only have 4 series going. And then at the end of the month, we'll have another. I would say another hard decision, but probably what will happen is I think once we finish our second Let's Play of 80 Days, we might just drop it out of the rotation for a little while, and we'll go down to Beyond Earth, Dwarf Fortress, Nobunaga's Ambition, and Afterbirth. Maybe. We'll see. So if you have any input on this, please give it. If there's something that I haven't mentioned that you would like to see, I'd love to hear your input, your comments, your thoughts, your cries of anguish. Let them flow into the comments below. So thank you for tuning into this. If you've made it towards the end of the video, you are a true fan and the real MVP of my channel. So thank you guys so much for being my supporters, and I'll see you in the videos. Until then, game on.